Well, tonight we're really delving into the heart of a nation grappling with its past, its present, and the uncertain shape of its future. From shadows that linger for decades to the political tremors shaking Leinster House and the critical choices that will define Ireland on the world stage. This is Ireland, unvarnished. Some disappearances etch themselves into the national psyche, wounds that refuse to heal. For Fiona Pender, 7 months pregnant when she vanished from Tullamore in 1996, time has offered no solace. Now, nearly 30 years on, the Gardaí have made a chilling declaration. This is a murder inquiry. They believe Fiona was killed, her body deliberately concealed. Near Killy, County Offaly, a new search operation is underway, the third desperate attempt to unearth answers from the stubborn Irish soil. What secrets does the earth hold? Will this finally bring closure or deepen the mystery that has haunted a community for a generation? In Kerry, another long silence has been broken. Remains discovered on a farm, stumbled upon during routine work, have been confirmed as those of Michael Gain. The 56-year-old sheep farmer, reported missing in mid-May. Gardaí now painstakingly piece together his final days. The farm a sealed-off scene, the air thick with unanswered questions. The cycle of violence grinds on in the capital. 2 teenagers, their youth eclipsed by the grim shadow of gangland, now face 9 years behind bars for their part in a fatal restaurant clash. A stark reminder of the insidious grip of organized crime on young lives, reigniting fears that echo through Dublin streets. And then, tragedy struck on Lower Main Street in Dunleer, County Louth. An elderly woman, out in the midday bustle, her life extinguished in an instant, struck by a bus. Gardaí are appealing for witnesses, for anyone who saw what happened in those fleeting, fatal moments. And in Dublin's Cherry Orchard, fear itself has become a resident. Persistent antisocial behavior, intimidation, a community living on edge. Local authorities admit to 11 vacant council houses, yet the promise of safe, adequate housing feels distant, fueling anxieties that fester in the heart of the neighborhood. When will they feel safe in their own homes? So into this fray steps an unlikely contender. Conor McGregor, the mixed martial artist, has thrown his hat into the ring for the Irish presidency. The November election suddenly has a wild card. Supporters see a fresh voice, an outsider ready to shake up the establishment. Detractors question his very suitability for the highest office. A nation watches, divided. Will this maverick upend Irish politics as we know it? Meanwhile, the government faces a united front of fury over the housing crisis. Sinn Féin, the Social Democrats, Labour, People Before Profit solidarity, a chorus of condemnation. Owen O'Brien of Sinn Féin pulls no punches, labeling the administration do nothing, failing citizens not just on housing, but on childcare, education, healthcare. They vow to fight any attempt to weaken red caps, those fragile shields for tenants in rent pressure zones. So, the battle lines are drawn. On June 17th, protesters will descend on Leinster House. The Raise the Roof campaign, backed by trade unions and civil society, echoes the powerful water charge protests of 2017. A promise of relentless pressure both inside Parliament and out on the streets. Will the government bend or brace for a summer of discontent? Ireland is poised to make a significant move on the international stage, proposing legislation to ban trade with Israeli enterprises in the occupied West Bank. A bold principled stand on international law and human rights that would make Ireland the first European nation to enact such a law. It's a move lauded by human rights advocates, condemned by supporters of Israel, placing Ireland firmly in a complex global spotlight. Well, across the Atlantic, a reprieve. U.S. President Donald Trump has delayed the imposition of crippling 50% tariffs on EU goods, pushing the deadline from June 1st to July 9th. Baonishthe Simon Harris welcomed the breathing space, a crucial window for negotiation to protect Irish jobs and investment. The delay, brokered in a call between President Trump and European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen, sent a ripple of optimism through global markets. European stocks rallied, the euro strengthened, but the threat still looms. So, this week, Dublin welcomes Swiss President Karin Keller-Sutter, the first such visit since 2012. High-level talks are on the agenda, shadowed by U.S. pressure on the pharmaceutical industry, though whether pharma will be explicitly discussed remains under wraps. President Keller-Sutter, who also serves as Switzerland's finance minister, will open a historical exhibition at Ireland's National Museum, a nod to the deep ties between Ireland and her home canton of St. Gallen. Meetings with President Michael D. Higgins and Taoiseach Micheál Martin will cover bilateral relations, European policy, and the ever-shifting international landscape. In these turbulent times, can diplomacy forge pathways to stability? The Irish healthcare system is under intense scrutiny, and nowhere is the pain more acute than for its youngest patients, children with scoliosis, their young bodies contorting, facing agonizing, repeated delays for life-altering surgery. 17-year-old Wyke Henry Benson from Mayo, his spinal curvature exceeding a shocking 100 degrees, surgery postponed again and again, his family now forced to look abroad. 14-year-old Daniel Collins from Tralee, his 80-degree curve now demanding 2 operations. They are but 2 faces among over 106,000 children trapped on hospital waiting lists. And then, well, the bombshell from within Children's Health Ireland. An internal investigation uncovers serious malpractice. A consultant who manipulated the waiting list system, deliberately delaying vital surgeries for children, some by up to 3 long years. Publicly seen patients referred to private weekend clinics operated by the same consultant, funded by the National Treatment Purchase Fund. €35,800 in NTPF payments. 95% of 179 patients handpicked by this consultant were eligible for earlier treatment by colleagues. 50 children needing surgeries that clinical guidelines demanded much sooner. The report flags potential negligence, financial irregularities, a toxic environment. CHI was advised to alert medical authorities, yet the Department of Health was kept in the dark. Health Minister Jennifer Carroll McNeil has now tasked the National Patient Safety Office to engage, a betrayal of trust, a system failing its most vulnerable, and the new National Children's Hospital in Dublin, projected to cost €2.24 billion, now facing its 15th delay. Patients are unlikely to be treated there until at least June 2026. Costs escalate. Disputes with the contractor BAM continue. A beacon of hope, shrouded in perpetual delay. But amidst the crisis, innovation flickers. Researchers at the University of Galway are charting a course for Ireland to join a European biobanking network, unlocking vast resources for collaborative research. Health Innovation Hub Ireland launches its Hi-Hi.ai Call 2025, seeking artificial intelligence solutions to revolutionize healthcare. the Royal College of Surgeons in Ireland hosts its 2025 Cancer Conference, focused on transforming care through innovation and equity. So, on May 22nd, voices rose in Dublin, transgress the NGS, marking the 10th anniversary of the marriage equality referendum, protested for improved trans healthcare services, a powerful call for dignity and progress yet to be fully realized. In a system under siege, can innovation, advocacy, and accountability forge the path to healing? Well, the nation's finances, it's a delicate balance, isn't it? Allied Irish Banks is preparing to offload a hefty €500 million portfolio of non-performing loans. Mortgages, small business debts, casualties of the pandemic years. A strategic move to shore up AIB's foundations. Yet it casts a long shadow. The bank itself warns of slower economic growth, the specter of rising global trade tariffs, and a potential dip in foreign direct investment. Domestic demand may grow by 2.3% this year, but external pressures are mounting. And then, a government report from the Department of Finance sounds another alarm. Ireland's aging population poses a profound challenge to public finances. Policy adjustments are not just advisable, they are becoming imperative. These findings will weigh heavily on future budgets. But a flicker of optimism. Consumer confidence, tracked by the Irish Credit Union Consumer Sentiment Index, has edged up to 60.8 in May, the first rise in 4 months. A fragile green shoot in uncertain terrain. So, corporate Ireland, it's a landscape, isn't it, of shifting fortunes. DHL celebrates, Cisco retrenches. Cork's insurtech firm Cana plans new jobs, expanding its global reach. Venture capital flows into promising SMEs. Viata secures funding to power smart grids worldwide. But the Boots admission serves as a caution. Trust, once broken, is hard to mend. Is Ireland's economic resilience robust enough to weather the storms gathering on the horizon? So, Ireland's ambition to be a global tech powerhouse, it's really in full flight, isn't it? Minister of State Niamh Smith champions digital priorities like AI and digital trust at Asia Tech X Singapore 2025. Across the Pacific, Ireland's Consul General in San Francisco, Micheál Smith, takes the stage at the AICon Silicon Valley Conference at Stanford, underscoring Ireland's pivotal role in the AI revolution. And a new chapter for a storied competition. Stripe, co-founded by former winner Patrick Collison, takes the helm as title sponsor of the Young Scientist and Technology Exhibition, a 5-year commitment fostering the next generation of innovators. Well, in the Northwest, Atlantic Technological University secures €8.46 million, backed by the Peace Plus program, to launch a cutting-edge semiconductor photonics education and research center, a beacon for economic growth and cross-border innovation. The buzz is palpable. The Dublin Tech Summit 2025, set for May 28th and 29th at the RDS, promises a deep dive into AI, deep tech, and quantum computing. In the West, the Atlan Tech Festival 2025 is already underway, culminating in a conference at the University of Galway on May 29th, with AI and cybersecurity at its core. And Irish ingenuity reaches for the stars. Technology platform Celton wins a European Space Agency contract to develop advanced semiconductor hardware for next-generation satellite missions. Will these bold ventures secure Ireland's place at the forefront of tomorrow's world? Well, beyond the headlines of state and economy, life unfolds in all its vibrant complexity. Congratulations to Armagh GAA star Jarlath Óg Burns, son of GAA President Jarlath Burns, on his engagement to Tara Donaghy. RTE's Arthur Garunlian turns heads with a striking outfit during a podcast with chef Donal Skehan. Dublin's Mansion House saw the Lord Mayor's Award honoured track star Rasadat Adeleke, rugby legend Johnny Sexton, actor Brendan Gleeson, and thespians Brian Murray and Una Crawford O'Brien for their powerful work raising dementia awareness. And Irish footballer Louise Quinn reflects on watching former teammate Katie McCabe lead Arsenal to Champions League glory while contemplating her own international retirement. Ireland AM's Alan Hughes shares reassuring news after a recent health scare with diverticulitis. And he and husband Carl Broderick look forward to bringing Cinderella to the National Stadium. So, on the airwaves, a question mark, isn't it, hangs over Liveline. With Joe Duffy departing after more than a quarter of a century, speculation swirls. Who will inherit the iconic microphone? Today, host Dahi Osei is tipped as a frontrunner, but names like Ciara Doherty, Dermot Whelan, and Andrea Gilligan are also in the mix. A nation tunes in, waiting. A moment of shared joy for sprinter Charlene Maudsley and Tipperary GAA star Michael Breen, captured in a photo from a rare day together in their home county. Well, on the sporting front, fortunes were mixed. At Clontarf, the West Indies cricket team handed Ireland a heavy 197-run defeat in the third one-day international, levelling the series 1-1. Casey Carty's magnificent 170 powered the visitors to a mammoth 385-for-7. A tough day for Ireland's Barry McCarthy, conceding 100 runs, the most expensive figures in Irish ODI history. Chasing a revised target, Ireland fell for 165, though debutant Cade Carmichael offered a glimmer of hope with 48 runs. In Gaelic football, Mayo's senior manager Kevin McStay has temporarily stepped down for personal health reasons. Assistant Stephen Rochford takes the helm as Mayo navigates a challenging season. McStay remains optimistic. But then in hurling, pure Cork elation. A stunning 2 goals, 25 points to 1 goal, 22 points victory over Waterford propels them to their first Munster Senior Hurling Championship final since 2018. Goals from Brian Hayes and Patrick Horgan sealed the famous win. Next up, a titan clash with reigning champions Limerick at the Gaelic grounds. Waterford manager Peter Queally, proud but critical of some refereeing, looks to rebuild. From the depths of unsolved mysteries to the heights of human achievement, the story of Ireland continues to unfold. Every day brings new challenges, fresh hopes, and the enduring spirit of a nation navigating its path. So, what will tomorrow bring?